Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
In the building, Carlos Rosado is on deck. We in here on deck. WCS salute to you, Carlos. Appreciate you pulling up, being the first on deck on this Thursday. You feel me? We're almost at the conclusion of one more week in life. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tyrese on deck. Yes, sir. Thinkers think. Yes, sir. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. You already know, man. You already know. Cape Man P on deck. WCS, we want WCS like how it used to chant. Easy that. Let me see. Like how they used to chant easy. I can't put it together right now. Give me time. I can't put it together right now, man. Marty said Boots fighting Canelo next. Oh my God. Cup urine, please. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing. The GOAT is on deck. What's good with it, Blunts? Salute to your brother. What's good, family combat? What's the word, OG? Hey, man, you know, a day at a time. Stepping. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all I can say. Shout out to Mr. Golden in the building, the OG on deck. What's good with it? Shout out to Mike 74, man. Chicago boxing on deck in the building, man. What's good with it? WCS, what it do? From Chicago. Shout out to Chicago, man. Shout-town on deck in the building. Yes, sir, indeed. On this Thursday, man, we up and running. We have a dandy, and I need y'all help in trying to figure this out, okay? That's all we need to do. Like I say, you know what I'm saying, the hottest chat in the game. I know we got some astute minds, some boxing aficionados that we can figure this out. We just have a little bit of troubleshooting to do. As you already know, Canelo Alvarez, man, is always been in the picture when it comes to boxing for a long time. His loss against Floyd Mayweather only elevated him to a whole nother, level in boxing. And he has since, continued to stay on top. You know what I'm saying? Even when he took a risk to move up to 175. And he took that loss against Dimitri Bivol. It did nothing for his appraising value. I mean, that's when you know that you're at the top. You can continue to make money. You take a loss in this career, you go nowhere. Yeah, they may have shifted him on the pound for pound list, but you go nowhere. This is trying to figure out who benefits the most from the Canelo Super Sweepstakes, because that's what it is. That's what it is. Canelo is holding sweepstakes, y'all. Canelo is holding sweepstakes. Real talk. Let's talk about the one who benefited off Canelo sweepstakes. Caleb Plant got over 10 million. He had the IBF championship super middleweight. That was the last title for Canelo to swoop up. He did it. He collected it. He collected it, right? So now we have a fascinating trio that's going on. Very, very fascinating for Canelo because ultimately he's going to get paid regardless, okay? He's going to get paid regardless. But we have a fascinating trio that includes Jamel Charlo, who will be stepping in there this month. Well, you know, one more day, September, whatever, next month. Then we have potentially in the future David Benavidez, who had to somehow, some way go on a tour of goodwill and apologize. I don't know why, man. I don't know why David Benavidez is being casted or somewhat ostracized from being in the good graces of Canelo stepping in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Triple G had all good words for Canelo when they was fighting. You know what I'm saying? He said some pretty dirty things about Canelo, especially when he popped for clenbuterol. Triple G had some things to say. He was very vocal on that, right? And then you have the man himself, current reigning defending, you know what I'm saying, welterweight undisputed world champion, two-time officially. He too has become a part of the Canelo sweepstakes. How do you benefit as a boxer by stepping in the ring with Canelo? But first of all, you have an opportunity to grace the square with the legend himself, Canelo Alvarez. That's first and foremost. You have the opportunity to grace the square with him. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a feeling like no other. Even if you have to walk to the ring first, because that's most of the time, his opponents, they walk to the ring first and then come Canelo, right? It must be an undeniable spirit, that you feel being in the arena and hearing them cheering for Canelo, and gracing the square with him, feeling that type of energy from a legend. That's the benefit from it. You get to share the night. You get to share the lights. You get to share a lot. You get to share the square, the moment, everything. And also you get to share the proceeds and probably getting the biggest paycheck of your goddamn boxing career. That's the biggest part of it. These four guys right here. And you're probably asking, why do you have Caleb Plant in there? Well, guess what? Caleb Plant is saying he wants a rematch with Canelo. I mean, who wants to see a match between Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez? Who wants to see that? But when it boils down to it, it's not even a question that we ask, and Canelo's pretty much asking the same question behind closed doors. He's not. Canelo can pick and choose who he wants to be a part of the Canelo sweepstakes. That's why he said to Andrade, who I didn't put on here, because I don't think Canelo's going to fight the man. Even if he beat David Benavidez, I don't think he's going to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez. But he said with Demetrius Andrade, I know you want payday. Canelo totally understands that whoever's stepping in the ring with him, they pretty much going to get the highest payday that they've gotten, that they've been able to gross in their career. So at this point in time, out of these names, let me start with David Benavidez. For Benavidez to step in the square with Canelo Alvarez, especially where his career is at right now, having been a two-time super middleweight world champion, it was somewhat rebound or give his career revitalization. You know what I'm saying? Because he needs that right now. David Benavidez is a good dude, man. I like him as a fighter. Tough. The fight he had with Caleb Plant didn't play out the way I wanted it to, but it was, he's a tough dude, man. Got mad boxing skills. It would absolutely put his career in a whole nother, level at super middleweight. It would change it up for him, as best as he possibly wanted in the super middleweight division. Because right now, it hasn't been a failure, but it hasn't been where he would want it to be. You know what I'm saying? With Canelo pretty much saying he ain't fighting no more Mexicans and just, shelving on the possibility of him and David Benavidez even fighting. So with that, of course, it changes his career around if he's able to go in there and fight another Mexican in Canelo Alvarez. But is it one of those fighters who benefits the most in his career by placing Canelo? I don't think so. I don't think it, benefits so much, even though it's super middleweight. It depends on when Benavidez fight Canelo. If Canelo is still the champion, of course, it'll allow Benavidez to pick belts, and he definitely changes levels, right? But he won't be the first fighter to become undisputed at 168. He won't be the first fighter to defeat Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it won't benefit the most out of these guys on the thumbnail. Caleb Plant get a rematch. It's hard for a lot of people to think that Caleb Plant will beat Canelo in the rematch, even though he was able to move and groove in their first fight. I don't think people see him coming back even stronger, better. You know what I'm saying? Much more technically sound with an offensive strategy that's going to really disrupt Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez. It just don't give you the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, can he do it in a rematch, or is just for a paycheck? Is this Gennady Golovkin all over again? You know what I'm saying? I get that feeling like it's just going to be a rematch. You know what I'm saying? So, Caleb Plant, I don't see him benefiting the most out of this, except for a paycheck. That's it. I don't see him getting any better just off the strength of him being in a hug fest with David Benavidez. I don't see Caleb Plant benefiting for this shit. And nor am I going to be quick to jump to the front of the line and do live streams and saying, man, I just can't wait to see Caleb Plant fight Canelo Alvarez. I don't. I really don't, because he had his opportunity. He wanted to carry on the conversation and the back end of the fight and end up getting stopped. The dude literally jogged from one post to the next post. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I'll just stick with the slap you gauge Jamel Charlo, and maybe y'all can fight in the near future. But once again, I heard that Caleb Plant said, no, I wouldn't fight Jamel Charlo. He needs to tune up and all that. But you'll slap him, right? You know what I'm saying? You'll slap Jamel Charlo, but he needs to tune up. Okay, I got it. Now it gets down to the interesting part with Terrence Crawford and Jamel Charlo. All right. But let me get back to the chat right quick. NYT on deck. What's good? Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and more, the OG in the building. What's good with it, Bruce? Canelo versus Crawford is the true mega fight of this decade. Shout out to King 47 on deck. Yes, we're going to definitely talk about that. I concur. I hate that you want a payday excuse, BS. Canelo is the face of boxing. Of course, everyone wants to fight him for the bag. It's prize fighting. Andrade was a champ too. Yes, sir. He's a champ in 2 divisions. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. Toby Bartley from across the pond. What's good with it, Toby? On deck. Salute WCS in the chat. We're global, baby. We're global. WCS got the hottest chat with the hottest grease. That's the aerosexuals call him Scotty Too Hottie. Hey, man. They feel that they giving me a little bit more. I don't know when they call me, by my name and shit. I guess that's supposed to piss me off. As long as I've been living, I have no idea, dog. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the cook though. But shout out to Toby, man, from across the pond. Salute to you, brother. So we get to the wishbone, man. This is the wishbone in this whole scenario. This is the wishbone. You know what I'm saying? You have the left side, you have Crawford, you got the right side, freaking Jamel Charlo. Which one of these guys benefit the most? Let's start with Jamel Charlo. Jamel been in the 154-pound division, and I've talked about this before on how he is in a position where it can totally change his boxing career. No doubt about it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's no half stepping on this shit. It'll totally change his career. Why? Because right now, I put out there what's the biggest fight in boxing, and that's Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. On the other side, I don't like using the BUT all the time. On the other side, we have Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo has no way, shape, or form been in the silhouette of Canelo in his boxing career. Canelo brightness, man, he glows on his own based off his accolades and accomplishments. So Jamel Charlo haven't been nowhere close to this guy. Nowhere close to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to fight Mel Charlo isn't there. But for Mel Charlo to fight Canelo, that's where it comes into play. How can Canelo become mellow? You know what I'm saying? How can Mel Charlo go in there and take a little bit of the shine of Canelo Alvarez? Because he can't take he can't take what he's accomplished. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best of this era, point blank, period. But for Mel Charlo and Crawford, they have the opportunity. They have that opportunity, y'all. One of the most grandiose opportunities that you would ever get in the boxing at this point in your career. We talking about all three of these fighters are in their 30s. They're considered to still be competitive. No car accidents, no nothing. They are considered to be healthy. How can it all play out for the benefit of the boxing masses? Mel Charlo goes in there with Canelo Alvarez, 2 weight divisions up, and he gives a good account of himself. You know what I'm saying? The good account simply is getting the WIN, the Whiskey India November. He goes in there and gets the win. Now, you know I pay attention to language. I listen. Jamel Charlo has been on record as saying that he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez again in December. That's betting on himself that he pulls off the victory, right? It's a lot of people that cannot see it like they was seeing Crawford and Spence. Like they had one half talking this shit, the other half talking the other shit. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't quite know who would get what done. You know what I'm saying? They call it a 50-50 fight, but they just didn't know. Nobody's calling this a 50-50 fight with Jamel Charlo and Canelo. I would also establish a scenario for you that I'm going to put it out there that the percentage of Terrence Crawford going in there beating Canelo would be higher than Jamel Charlo going in there beating Canelo. That's just me. That's just my, opinion. I'm just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get all amped up about it. Everybody draft up their thoughts differently. And that's where I'm drafting this, right? So Jamel Charlo, right? He's undisputed just like Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He's accomplished that threshold. He solidified himself as a super welterweight undisputed titleist. He goes in there and he gets the win with Canelo. What will he do? Because now Mel Charlo is now on top of just a little bit. He's not above Canelo Alvarez, but he's on top of certain hills that has been, I'm talking about over time due to the boxing weather. It's certain mounds, you know what I'm saying, that he can stand on top of. It's not the top of the mountain. It's not the top of the freaking mountain, but he's high in elevation. He's high in elevation, right? So if Mel Charlo defeats Canelo Alvarez, what is he choosing to do? You know what I'm saying? What is he choosing to do? Is he daring to be great or what? Because for one, he said he wants to fight Canelo in December. And then he turned back around and said in a recent article, once he beat Canelo, he's fighting Crawford. I don't get it. Provide me with the optimum understanding. This is where I get a little bit confused with Mel Charlo. He goes in there and gets the win with Canelo. Are you going to go back for a second one? You know, what else? You're a 2-division undisputed champion. Canelo is taking his third loss. Does he stand to benefit the most out of this? Does his value go up? Do people really start believing him? I believe there are going to be an enhancement to people who follow him, but not so much like it was for Crawford beating Spence. The reason being is that I feel that Jamel Charlo is so far disconnected in this boxing shit that if he was to go in there and beat Canelo, he would be disappointed at the lack of people that's unwilling to jump on the bandwagon of Jamel Charlo. If he was to say, you know, I'm gonna fight Crawford next, they're not gonna give him the respect because, you know, it's like it's still some earning that you have to do. You know, you have to prove to people that you him. And I don't know if that's gonna consciously be a reality that Charlo experienced, that more people are leaning towards him because he went in there and beat Canelo. We already seen Canelo get beat recently. Dimitri Bivol did it. And speaking of Dimitri Bivol, right? He said if Mel Charlo beats Canelo Alvarez, he want to fight Mel Charlo. But I didn't put him in there because that's just something he wants from a whole nother division. But does Mel Charlo benefit the most in this, you know, equation with Canelo Alvarez? He benefits as a fighter. He does benefits. He benefits monetarily. He benefits legacy-wise. He does benefit. But of course, I don't see him benefiting more than Terence Crawford. The reason being is that Mel Charlo would have beat a guy that was on the pound-for-pound list. He would have. If that's the possibility, he would have did that. But it's all about popularity. It's all about respect on how you got that shot in to begin with. He really didn't call out Canelo Alvarez like that, and they gave him the fight. It came out of nowhere. It just didn't happen. It was almost like a rebound type of situation. His brother couldn't make it, so he was slid into the equation as the second twin, and he got the fight. Now, the only way that I feel that he can increase his FICO when it comes to the benefit is that he go in there and stop Canelo. He goes in there and stop Canelo, stop him. I would say that Jamel Charlo, man, just reaches a whole new level. You know what I'm saying? A whole nother level of a whole nother boxing, the shock value, the one of the greatest of all time. He will be catapulted into that name. You know what I'm saying? One of the all-time, based off one particular result of him stopping Canelo. If he goes in there and beat Canelo and it goes the distance, I don't believe people will, you know, jump on the bandwagon as quickly. You know what I'm saying? It will be more so like Devin Haney with the undisputed titles, in my opinion, because he's just not one of those guys that's been on the radar of the fans like that. You know, people know he was out here. He's been inactive for 15 months. You know what I'm saying? He been inactive. And at the end of the day, him going in there beating Canelo via decision, it would be okay for him. It won't put him into a whole nother stratosphere. But if he knocks him out, that's a whole nother story. But still, I don't see the boxing fans connecting with Jamel Charlo. He's just not him. For Terence Crawford, on the other hand, this is a guy who has risen to incredible heights in such a short window. A short window with a long lens, because his accolades goes back to the 35. You know what I'm saying? So where he's at right now, being the first to do it male-wise, is awesome. Then you put him into the equation of his call-outs, right? You put him into this equation, who benefits the more from the Canelo sweepstakes? He's been calling out Mel Charlo. He's been letting it be known, I want to fight the dude. I want to fight the dude. I'm gonna go ahead and beat Errol Spence or beat his ass or whatever, and then I want freaking Jamel Charlo. And then they say, oh, so why you want Jamel Charlo? Well, he's a hoe ass nigga. I want to beat his ass. I want them belts. So he's on record as calling them out. So that's even more momentum for Crawford heading there for Mel Charlo. Also, never to forget that Mel Charlo is the current undisputed crown holder at the super welterweight division. So what does that do for Crawford? It allow him time and space and light. You know what I'm saying? It'll allow him to write another chapter in his boxing career to contend for a fourth division. Not only just the fourth division, but for the undisputed titles. Now, I don't know how they'll go about and get the titles from Tim Tszyu. I don't know that. But in reality, it allows Crawford to contend for a 3-time undisputed. But peep this out. Why I believe Crawford benefits the most out of this whole equation, because let's just say Jamel Charlo loses to Canelo and Canelo chooses to fight Terence Crawford. So therefore, Canelo's coming off a win over the super welterweight world champion. That's a division higher than Crawford. Crawford's moving up. We'll say 3 divisions, because he's still the current reigning at 147. 3 divisions to face another guy that's on the pound for pound list again, right? So he would have defeated Errol Spence Jr. that was on the pound for pound list. And now he's going in there to fight Canelo Alvarez, who's been on the pound for pound list for quite some time. So being that, with the experience Canelo has, him being a cash cow, pound for pound fighter, always in the talks, is making his own moves. Crawford goes up there and contend. The world is watching. The biggest fight in the sport of boxing. No one can take that away. Why? Crawford is undefeated. Jamel Charlo has already suffered a defeat from a fighter who's a boxer like Terence Crawford. He's already accepted that defeat. Yes, sir, indeed, he has. And he has a draw on his record. Crawford has no such. Crawford's draw, 0. 0. Undefeated. 2-time undisputed, going in here to face a fighter that has fought as high as 175. Woo, what a feat it is. What a feat that is for him to move up 3 divisions to face the man. You know what I'm saying? In one of the meccas of boxing, to face the man. To take the torch from Canelo. Because that's what it would be. And you asking yourself, okay, how can it be a torch? How can it be anything with a torch? Just take a look at it this way. Terence Crawford is older than Canelo Alvarez. All right. He's been on the pound for pound list longer than Jamel Charlo. And he's been on there damn near the only fighter longer than any other fighter that's been on the pound for pound list. But when you talk about accolades, when you talk about a surge that has happened correctly with Terence Crawford coming off the Sean Porter fight, that's where shit started to glow for Terence Crawford, because he did something no one else could do. Boom, he went in there and stopped Sean Porter. Then he fought a light David Avanesian, went in there and knocked him out. And then, of course, all the talk several years up to this point, July 29th, he didn't shock the world. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the world didn't give him a chance to go in there and beat Spence. All he did was shock the naysayers for the fashion from which the fashion he did it, that he earned the victory. That's what was shocking, how easily he made it look. Just like, most of the fights that he's been a part of in the welterweight division. But moving up here to Canelo Alvarez, Crawford goes in there and defeat Canelo and picks up the super middleweight undisputed champions. He has to go down as one of the top rated all-time greats in boxing with 3 divisions of undisputed. Not only that, he would have went from 147 to 168 to fight this man who was already established as a super middleweight, light heavyweight fighter. That is unbelievable criteria, y'all. Do you understand how pristine, prestigious that shit is? That is prestigious type of accolades right there. To move up that many divisions, go in there and face a guy who's been campaigning at that weight comfortably, right? Getting it done. Took a loss at a higher division, but swept through the super middleweight division, and Crawford goes ahead and defeat Canelo Alvarez. A fighter that has damn near, you know what I'm saying, been at the top of the heap, top of the hierarchy for quite some time. And to have a fighter who on the back end of his career has a surgence, you know, has a final surge crossing the finish line and go in there and beat Canelo Alvarez. And not to mention how he beats him. The scenario I gave Jamel Charlo about him going to decision, it wasn't going to do too much. But if he was to go in there and knock him out, yeah, it'll be a defining moment for Mel Charlo. But for Crawford, he don't have to go in there and knock out Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion. All he has to do is go in there and win. Because for one, it's this stigma that's placed on Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It's the stigma is he's small dude. You know what I'm saying? What did Errol Spence say? He was light in the ass. He said, on my life, you ain't gonna stop me. On my life, you ain't gonna stop me. And what happened? When they clinched up and Crawford just shoved him off like he was a goddamn old jacket, like he was an old wool jacket that was itching him, he shoved that shit off. I mean, he made it look easy in that. So heading into a fight with Canelo Alvarez, if we see some of the same thing and say, oh, damn, Crawford truly is strong in there. And then also you have to put the place the other the stigma was that he doesn't have a chin. Clearly, Spence was able to land some good solid shots on Crawford. Now we want to see if he can take a shot for Canelo at that weight class. All these factors put Bud Crawford as the biggest fight in boxing. The biggest fight in boxing. It is the biggest fight in boxing, period. Because there's a lot of variables that add up to being the king of something. You know what I'm saying? It was so much that they add up. Like this is a fight that should have $100 price tag on it. This is not considered, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia situation. No, both fighters have higher accolades. You know what I'm saying? Considered some of the best to do it. Even with Terrence Crawford having 3 divisions, that don't matter. It's what people see him right now. Because people had their hopes and dreams in Errol Spence, and they say, damn, Crawford made it look like they wasn't even in the same freaking category when it comes to professional boxing. It's almost like the experience level. You can never say that Spence was an Olympian the way that Crawford beat him. But to go in there and put a stamp of approval on a fighter that's been fighting since he was 15 or something like that, 15, has over 60 professional fights, multiple world championships, been in there with the who's who of boxing. For Crawford to go in there and fight this guy and stay undefeated, 3-weight undisputed, it's no other equation to have with this. It's no other equation to have. You're not just talking about the momentum that he's coming off from July 29th. It's more than that. It's the belief in the truth that the fight fans have in this guy now. You know what I'm saying? It took him a longer road to get there, but they seen it with their own eyes, bro. They have seen this guy. If someone continued to convince you that, hey, this is who I am, I'm not average, I'm better than most, then guess what? You gotta posture up and pay attention. Or else you just looking stupid. You gotta posture up and say, hey, he's the truth, man. He would turn boxing on his head. Really, it wouldn't be another fighter that can match the value, you know what I'm saying, with Crawford. It wouldn't be another fighter in the sport bigger than Canelo that would give Crawford that bag. Like Canelo is the Don Dada, you know what I'm saying, the Grand Poobah, the creme de la creme. Bud goes in here and beat him. The only way he can benefit again would be simply off a paycheck, because he would have already written that chapter, you know, established another chapter to his legacy, added some more championships to his chest plate of badges and medals that he's earned as a professional boxer. So the only thing he can benefit was going in there again and making another paycheck, y'all. Real talk. Let me get to this chat right quick. I'm gonna get to the second half. If those of you that sit in chat, if you saw what the thumbnail is, it's a super sweepstakes, game changer. Who benefit the most in the Canelo sweepstakes? So for, you know, this guy Sanchez, I see you popped up. You say, and what Canelo gained? Nothing. Listen, if Canelo is getting 3 fight deals, you know, I'm assuming that you read Game Changers, who benefit the most from Canelo sweepstakes. I didn't say Crawford sweepstakes. I said Canelo sweepstakes, right? So if you want to pop in the chat tomorrow and what Canelo gained, nothing, you should always moonwalk back to the Abner Yildirim fight. There's a lot of opponents that he chose to fight that he gained nothing from. He benefited absolutely nothing from. Nothing. So you can't get on here and try to put Crawford up there like, oh, this is an opportunity for Canelo to gain something. Canelo is already super middleweight undisputed. What he looks to gain is a 5th division. That's it. But that's not even the topic of the show. I was putting up, since, you know, he's getting this 3 fight deal and he's the cash cow and it's his sweepstakes. The whole preface was, which names that you're hearing right now will benefit the most from a Canelo sweepstakes. I didn't say any other of these other 4 fighters on the thumbnail are you know, benefiting Canelo. He already beat one of them. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Pay attention. That's all I'm saying. Pay attention. You know, you don't have to come out the pocket to pay attention. Just focus a little bit more. Stay dialed in. Adam, what's good? Adam says Jamel probably beats Canelo. Like I said, you have the right to your own opinion. I don't agree. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree. But that's your opinion. So you have the right to your own opinion. I made you on deck. What's good? He says, I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? He better be busy. He better be busy. Because look, WCS give him no chance. And it doesn't really have to do with the physical aspect. It has to do with the mental. You know what I'm saying? It just has to do with the mental. When it comes to Crawford, his mental, I always use this, his mental blade is sharp, y'all. His mental blade is sharp. That Charlo, no, man, his mental is not stronger than Crawford. So I don't expect it to be sharper than Canelo. Canelo's boxing IQ is much higher than Charlo, bro. Based off the experience and him, you know, and who he's fought and who the only couple names that he's lost to, bro. Man, he's learned, man. He's gotten better. You know what I'm saying? Look at what Bivol did to, how he beat Canelo, and look how he beat Gilberto Ramirez, bro. Canelo's a little better than Charlo, but Charlo hangs in there and finished strong. You have to look at also something that they used, Adam, when it was the Crawford fight building up to the Spence fight. They pretty much was talking about his level of opposition, right? So pretty much if you're saying, Crawford's level of opposition wasn't all that, he treated him like that. For Mel Charlo, we didn't see the separation. See what Crawford, he was getting them up out of there, stopping them early night. With Mel Charlo, you're talking about him coming back in a rematch. No, he wasn't getting them up out of there in the first time out when he started to improve or increase his level of competition. That's my thing with him. Even with Austin Trout, his mindset was different. He went in there with Austin Trout and trying to knock that man out and get it done quicker, and beat him better than his brother Maul Charlo beat him. That's not the mindset to have. And he was just loading up on every shot, dog. Then when he fought Tony Harrison, he really didn't have a game, a plan B or C. Has that went anywhere? Has that went anywhere? I don't know, bro. If he beats Canelo once, people will believe in him. He would be 36-1 with the win over Canelo. I don't think so. Look, I'm not speaking for the entire consensus of life itself. That's impossible. But all I'm saying is they're not going to believe in him like they believe in Crawford. It's going to be some people that bleed over and say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a good fight between him and Crawford now, because we don't know if Crawford will beat Canelo, but we've seen what he did to Spence, right? And then they're going to try to put some names together like, okay, who can they wager this confidence? What opponent can they go back on his box record and say, this way I have total faith in Mel Charlo. I have total faith in Mel Charlo since he beat Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Who else outside of Canelo will all these fans now jump on Charlo's bandwagon? Not to mention that Charlo is chosen, or Charlo has proven that he's not user-friendly. Not the type of user-friendly like Crawford, who just don't want to fuck with the media. No, Charlo has put it out there that he can be an asshole. Charlo can be an asshole, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the fans can't connect with him like they do Crawford. Like Crawford, he if he don't want to fuck with you, he'll keep distance by not even putting his hand on you. He'll kind of, brush you off a little bit. He'll answer a couple of questions, then he'll just keep it moving. He'll just roll. Like if you take a selfie with Crawford and you take one, and he see you took one, you try to take another one, he'll just walk away from you, because he's not going to sit there where you snap like 5 or 6 selfies. I've been there. I've been there. But with Charlo, you can't even really get up to take a selfie with this nigga at all. He's standoffish and he got asshole behavior. So he go in there and beat Canelo. They're gonna be like, okay, and cool. Let's see you fight. It's gonna always be like, okay, prove it to me that you can beat Terrence Crawford, somebody who you've shown that you don't have no desire to fight. Prove that you can beat him, and then we'll believe in you. If you go beat Crawford, then we'll believe in you. But I'm telling you, he's not going to get that type of credit like Crawford's getting with Spence. It's not going to happen, even though Canelo is the top dog, brother. He beat Canelo in a decision. It ain't happening. Look what built Crawford up once again. Him stopping Sean Porter. People start to say, their eyes, them brows start to, what you serious? He just did that? Okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Shit. He beat Porter like that. All right. We need to see more, though. We need to see more. Okay. He got up from negotiation. Still went out there and closed amnesia. All right. He's still knocking motherfuckers out. Okay. Let me see what he do against Spence. Let's see what he do against Spence. Let's see what he do against Spence. Let's see what he do against Spence. That's what the repeated motherfucking mantra was. Let's see what he do against Spence. Went in there and beat that boy easy. The fan base is on his side now because a lot of people don't find Crawford as being unapproachable, but they feel that Mel Charlo is unapproachable. Real talk. He's just trying to go around here and be nice on the press tour. No one's really connecting with this dude. Like he got his share, but people ain't just jumping on the Charlo bandwagon, bro. And say, I love Charlo now as a fighter, man. I love that dude. He's the one. He's him. This, that, and the other. Man, nobody ain't saying that shit. I'm just putting nobody out there recklessly, loosely. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's not all about the consensus. I'm just speaking opinionated thoughts. For me, it would be surprising upset, and if Charlo wins, it would have been a good fight. I don't know what you mean by a good fight, dog. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a great fight. You kind of getting confused off why I'm saying what I'm saying about him going in there beating Canelo Alvarez in the decision, and based off his popularity right now as we speak. When he was talking the shit about Terrence Crawford, people just looking at him as being one more clown to the circus. They wasn't really looking at him like, you know, he was in limbo. He's been out the sport. He had an injury. He's been avoiding Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to come back. He's been injured and all this other shit. And then all of a sudden he's thrusted into the limelight to face Canelo based off Mel Charlo not being able to fight. People wasn't looking for Mel Charlo. Most of what people know them for is little antics out in public. Now all of a sudden he cleans up his act. He tries to. Now he's on a press tour, and people supposed to mount this undeniable freaking level of respect for him because he's stepping there with Canelo. No, they're not convinced. He goes in there and knock out Canelo is different because he didn't knock out Brian Castano in the first go round. He didn't knock out Tony Harrison in the first go round. He didn't. This would have been the biggest fight on his career. He goes in here and have that Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter moment. Then people are going to be like, okay, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to, you know, they're going to start putting Bud name in there. Yeah, I want to see him and Bud fight now. Now I want to see him and Bud fight. This is going to be good. I want to see him and Bud fight now. Mel would be stood on the foothills of Mount Canelo, not on top of Mount Canelo. On the foothills, we stood on the foothills of Mount Canelo, not on top of Mount Canelo. He's got a lot more climbing to do with Sherpa Diddy James carrying his bags, climbing. You're absolutely right about that. He would not be standing on top of the mount here just because Canelo takes another L. Man, in his career, he has a lot to accomplish to be thrown into the subject of Canelo Alvarez. But to be fair to Mel Charlo, if he does collect those belts, he is 2-division undisputed. He is. No doubt about it. He absolutely is. He's that guy. Is he? Do he believe he will be as popular as Canelo Alvarez? Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Popularity will never be leveled when it comes to Jamel Charlo beating Canelo, and now all of a sudden the global masses is tuning in. He's just not that approachable guy. He's not user-friendly, bro. And it's going to take more than a fight with Canelo Alvarez get him to that status. Cooking with Surf Scene, what's good with it, brother? Has Arrow officially activated his rematch clause yet? Because a few Arrow sexual channels are saying it, but I have yet to see it anywhere officially. Well, Cam, I can tell you this. You know, I've seen a lot of false information that filters out into the waterways of this septic tank media waterway. This pipeline, you know what I'm saying, of information. You have to be very careful, bro, because a lot of these guys, they don't care about what you think when they put out clickbait ass information. if they are saying that he's activated, kudos. But my only question is, where are their sources? Who did they source to say they got the information? We went through this same shit last year with the July 4th false date, September 4th false date. You know what I'm saying? We went through this already with the bogus wolf tickets that was being put out here in the YTC about when the fight date was going to happen between Crawford Spence. So now people want to be the first because that's what panhandlers do. That's what the YTC panhandlers do. They'll say, oh, Errol Spence has enacted his rematch clause. And let's just use an example. It come back that he didn't enact his rematch clause. They'll go up here and they won't even apologize to the people they just lied to. They won't even apologize to them, Cam. They don't give a fuck. I haven't heard anything about, Errol Spence. I'm not saying he has. I'm not saying he hasn't. I haven't heard anything. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard anything. And you have to understand, these people, man, they're willing to believe everything and anything these people say to them without fact checking them. Let me put up some clickbait. Bruce said, I would have to see how Crawford handles the bigger guys at 154 and 160 before I get excited for this fight. All right, that's what's up. But you also have to look at it like this too, Bruce. You have to see how he handles the guys. But the big fight on the back end of the career, it basically includes nothing but challenge. It don't include nothing but superstardom. It includes the highest paychecks of your careers, of your career. At this age, he can't tiptoe to 154, 160 unless it's beneficial to him to gain something from it. If he's taking the same route he did from 40 to 47 at 36 years old this year, I mean, that might be all for naught. Like, how long will he be there? Let's just say he go over there and fight Tim Tszyu, which Tim Tszyu don't want to fight him. He picks up the WBO belt. He's in the momentum. He's on the momentum right now, beating Errol Spence, that people are looking at him to step up to a name that's going to be a challenge. If he beats Tim Tszyu, is he going to get credit? Is he going to be back in the same conundrum? You know what I'm saying? Of the fog of war, where people were saying, hey, he fought another nobody. Who was Tim Tszyu? What, he was big because he beat Terrell Goucher, Tony Harrison, Carlos Ocampo? He's this stud now. He won't get no credit. But if he move up to 154, like you said, and he face a fighter like Jamel Charlo, cool. But look at it this way, Bruce. The only way that scenario happens in the foreseeable future is if he's facing Jamel Charlo at 54. That means Jamel Charlo did not win against Canelo. So that means Jamel Charlo will return back to 154 with 3/4 of his current stockhold that he has as an undisputed world champion. Then, for Team Crawford, they have to look at it like, okay, can they get a fight with Canelo? Who's the bigger fight? Him proving to the people that he can handle fighters at 154, or move up to 168 and fight and do something that people think he can't do. Like even you believe that you want to see him at 154, 160. He goes up there to 168 and gets it done. That pretty much answers the 160 and 154 question. You know what I'm saying? That basically proves he's damn near, at a high level of mortality. He's glowing with immortality at this point. You know what I'm saying? He's over the top, dog. If Bud beats Canelo, it's officially Terrence Crawford era. Hey, man, it'll be an unbelievable moment. They call it an unbelievable epoch. Saying for him to go in there and accomplish this. It would be unbelievable. Seriously. That fight would be incredible. Incredible. It would have to be somewhere bigger than the T-Mobile Arena, dog. They would have to really promote this, put their effort in promoting this. It's a lot of money to be made because you got two hitters now. You know what I'm saying? That people can look, people still gonna be on here tomorrow. Crawford ain't sold nothing. Hey, you can say what you want, but Canelo has. So we just seen what Gervonta Davis was able to do with Ryan Garcia. So once again, Crawford riding off the momentum of Spence. Oh man, whoo, that'd be unbelievable. Salute to all my brothers in the chat. Was driving, couldn't type everybody's name. I'm 30 now, can't text and drive like I used to. Man, it's called voice to text. Okay. If you are manually typing without using voice to text, you should basically pull over and put yourself in time out. Okay. You should do that. If you have an empty plastic soda bottle, you should pick that up and just give yourself 2 or 3 heavy taps to the skull area. Believe me, you'll be okay. It's just to wake your ass up. Voice to text. You know what I'm saying? That is one of the features for most of you that have those new era phones. Bud don't have to KO Canelo, but him outboxing him is just about as impressive, honestly. I agree, Chef Singing. You know, that's what I was saying. He don't have to KO him. Like, I just don't see the same hoopla, hooray, if Mel Charlo goes in there and beat Canelo via decision. I don't think he'll get the same praise if Crawford was to do it. And I already gave you the variables for why I think the way I think. Because Crawford's moving up several divisions. He's considered a much smaller guy. And then there's some people that's just not going to say, okay, Canelo went in there with Dimitri Bivol, who is much stronger than he is at a higher division. But here comes this so-called little guy in Crawford facing a guy who's fought as high as 175. How can he do it? How can this guy do this? How does he keep on defying the odds, man? Come on, how does he continue to shut down the naysayers? I think Bud can drop Canelo. Hey, man, I'm not going to go out and start talking about knockdowns and knockouts. Only thing I can put out there, I believe it'll be a damn good fight. It'll be a very good fight, man. It'll be a great fight, to be honest. People say Canelo declining, but John Ryder got his face effed up, nose broken, and knocked down several times. He had quads the size of tree trunks, so he had good legs under him to carry him from the distance. I look at them size of them legs, Blunts, and you gotta look at like the wear and tear those legs have. Like, them legs can be freaking mahogany oak. They can be as heavy as mahogany oak. I ain't gonna lie, dog. Like, look at Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao got some of the biggest calves in the game. When you start getting old and them joints move a little bit differently, you know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers become heavy ankle and calf weights. You know what I'm saying? So Ryder might have had big legs. That don't mean he was fast with them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Muscle holds weight. You know the saying. You know this, Blunts. Muscle hold weight. Real talk. Muscle holds weight. Cape Man P on deck. There's nothing wrong with being an a-hole. Yeah, it's absolutely something wrong. You know what I'm saying? If being an a-hole is not increasing your fan base, it's not basically building up your price tag as a prize fighter, then why continue to do that? You've heard sayings where people say, hey, we definitely need to clean up your entire persona. You know what I'm saying? You have to clean up a little bit if you want the sponsors to deal with you, if you want this to come your way, if you want that. You know, boxing is a trash talking sport, but it comes a time, you know, periodically where if your PR team is able to get you on TV and this, that, and the other, you got to clean that up. You got to clean it up. You don't want people just, prejudging you. You're invited to go on this show. You come on there, and then the staff is like prejudging you on being an asshole. So they kind of give you the asshole energy. Male struggling with a pure boxer like Harrison. Canelo has put great boxing skills with power. I'm leaning towards Canelo via TKO. Okay. All right. So King 47 believe Canelo's gonna take out Mel Charlo, via TKO, and that's highly possible. And you know where I'm going with this when I say highly possible. Mine is not based off the strength of physicality, and just agreeing with people when it comes to the TKO. Just because Crawford and many other fighters had TKOs in their career, I'm looking at it like saving a fighter. Al Heyman still have a fighter who's young enough to have more fights on the docket. So I tell my listeners this all the time: it's better for a fighter to get a TKO stoppage, than the referee to come over there and give him that ultimate hug and shake his head left to right. No, it's better for the ref to come over there and save you than for you to be laid out on the canvas. And Al Heyman has more for you at 154. He plus you're looking at a longer suspension. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at extended suspension. You get a TKO, boom, you're gonna get like 60. I think it's gonna be shorter than you getting flatlined and out, and they put you on a longer extension. And it's people out there trying to make money off you. Shout out to Change Address 402, man. 402 on deck. What's good with it? Bro, I still believe even if Charlo beats Canelo, his personality still will be frowned upon. Crawford has gained fans even more after he ran over Spence. Now the fans believe Crawford is a dog. They do, man. I concur. I do. And the reason why I concur with that is simply what I was trying to state earlier, is that if you take someone's distance and them, not being a part of something, then it's always that space where you're not sure how that person really is. You're not familiar with it. You say, I don't know how Crawford acts around it because he really don't talk to nobody. I wouldn't say he's standoffish. He's just quiet. This and that. This is what they were saying. Oh, he really don't want to mess with the media. I understand. Okay, all right, cool. But when you actually in the media and you're putting your asshole on display, like you're being an asshole, you're putting that behavior on display. You have a fighter who's not really talking to the media, and then you have a fighter that's in the media, and we're seeing two different tones. You know what I'm saying? We have a quiet to silent tone over here to the left, and then we have this brash, cantankerous tone over here to the right. What's going to bring more attraction? You know what I'm saying? What's going to draw more people in for the wrong reasons? The person that's over here with a tone that's being an asshole. That's why. That you can't approach them. You can't ask them a question without them snapping on you. You know what I'm saying? That's much more detrimental, so to speak, or much more abrasive than someone is not saying much. He just don't have that personality right now, man. He just don't. I mean, look at his numbers. Look at his numbers. This is an undisputed guy. Let me show you something right quick. Look at his numbers, y'all. Let me show you some of his numbers. I'm about to show you some with the numbers right quick, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me. So So male Charlo has 589K IG followers. But that's not the numbers I'm talking about. Let's go to some more open-ended general numbers, rather than IG. Okay. So Mel Charlo's interview with $1 million worth of game is at 350K views, right? $357K. So if we look at the one, where is it? Spence-Crawford $1 million worth of game interview is over 1 million views. All right, is over 1 million views. Errol Spence, and this is somewhat the same, like when you're talking about personality wise, with Crawford, Spence, neither one of them was really talking to the media. Errol Spence's $1 million worth of game numbers is 377K. 377K. Charlo's facing Canelo, in my opinion, increased his numbers with $1 million worth of game because he's fighting Canelo. So he's sitting at 357. He's lower than his stablemate, Errol Spence Jr. at the time, by several thousand, whatever. It's neither here nor there. But there's a huge gap between Crawford and Mel Charlo's freaking understanding when it comes to social media right now. Because even though Bud wasn't really talking to his fans like that in the media, he has did that now. He pretty much blossomed at the right time. He did. He blossomed at the right time. And I always be on record as saying this. It doesn't matter if we can go back in hindsight and say, well, if he would have did this early, he would have been a much bigger. No, not so may potentially look at him like, okay, yeah, he's more accessible to the media, but who has he fought? Who this, who that? You know what I'm saying? So I feel he blossomed right at the best time of his career. I think he did it perfectly. You look at Terrence Crawford IG, profile is 1.4 million. He's at 1.4 million off that ass whooping he gave Spence. You know what I'm saying? 1.4 million. Errol Spence numbers increased since that ass whooping too. He's over 1 million now. You know what I'm saying? So both of these guys are, social media wise, has more followers on deck than Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Both of these guys. And truth be told, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford didn't really talk to the media like that. Not even Canelo Alvarez. But once again, most of the time we seen Mel Charlo out there. He was out there goofing off and doing some dumb shit to the media. That's all. Shout out to Mark Nash TV on deck, man. Salute to you, brother. I also believe Showtime wants a better representation of boxing. That was told to PBC. This is one of the reasons we are getting those big fights. So they want a better representation of boxing. So let me ask you this, Fold 2. If they want a better representation of boxing, why are they investing and putting all their money in Canelo Alvarez? Is he a PBC fighter? Is he a TGB fighter? I mean, is Canelo signed? He signed this promotion, not promotional. He signed this freaking fight deal with Showtime. I mean, they want a better representation. It's almost like a substitute teacher. Like Canelo has already been over here once before with Caleb Plant. Is Canelo considered a PBC fighter? How many fights do you have to be considered a PBC fighter? Oh, you got to sign a promotional deal? Is Canelo signed with PBC? Because they definitely, have him lined up for a 3-fight deal with all them PBC fighters over there. Is he that guy? You know what I'm saying? Is he like one of the silent partners? You know what I'm saying? Is he a silent partner? Mel is PBC. I don't know about, Mel being PBC's best boxer since Spence. I don't know about that. Who has he beat to prove he's the best boxer? You know what I'm saying? Like who? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you saying that Mel Charlo at the end of the day is better than David Benavidez? Or are we talking about popularity now? Because Mel Charlo don't have no motherfucking popularity, dog. He has popularity from his brother. Take his brother out of the equation. Do he really have? I mean, take out the buffoonery that goes out in town. Do he really have popularity? Will people really know who Mel Charlo is without his twin brother? What has he done? How do people gravitate to Mel Charlo? What does he do for them to gravitate towards him? Go ahead and knock out a fighter in a rematch that basically wasn't a heavy hitter to begin with? I mean, come on. He had defeated Patrick Teixeira. Then he goes in there. And come on, bro. Like what are we saying? The best. Got Caleb Plant over there, Benavidez. I mean, you got some hitters over there, dog. He has activated the rematch. I personally don't think it will be this year. Okay. All right, for sure. So 4-2 is saying that Spence has activated the rematch. That's good. That's good news. Seriously, that's good news. Appreciate that info, man. Appreciate that info. I'm still trying to find out. Well, hold on for a second. Okay. Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw on deck. Man, what they do, brother? They told Spence get his head right. My sources say he been getting his head right in seclusion, drinking, just playing. Shit, yeah, you better make sure you say just playing on the end of that, because oh my God, he's went too far. He's went too far. Why is this guy? Why he won't let up? Oh my God! Just let up, just a little bit. Give him some space to breathe. Bro, I have a reliable support. Okay, for sure. All right, cool. I know you say you was over that way. All right, for sure. That's good. That's good. He's enacted the rematch clause and everything. So now we have to see when that calendar is going to drop. You know what I'm saying? When is that calendar date going to drop? Remember, TBC was losing weight to make 147. He walks around 160 to 170 easy. Ugh. Okay. Well, I know when Joe Rogan asked him what his walk around weight was he's like, I don't know. But, that's what he walks around with. Okay, he should fill in real nice. But you know what they say, right? Therefore, too, they're going to say, well, for him coming up to that lightweight class, he's not going to be able to carry that muscle. And he ain't going to, how they was, when he released that picture heading, when he was in fight camp for Spence, and he released that picture when he looked super shredded. It's like, see, he bulked up too much. He ain't gonna be able to carry that weight with Spence because Spence pressure is gonna tire him out, exhaust him, fatigue him, and then he gonna knock out Crawford. How did that work? How did that work for you? Come on, I need answers. How did that work out for you now? You know what I'm saying? Damn, I agree he has the tools to do it. Oh, yeah, TBC is the real boogeyman. He is the boogeyman. In my opinion, he is the boogeyman. Why? People look at him different than they look at Mel Charlo fighting Canelo. They do, man. They just look at him different. Like I said, you got a man, you got people in line for the sweepstakes. One man he's glowing right now, man. He's illuminating right now based off the way he was able to get the stoppage over Spence. And then we got a fighter that's been out the ring for several months. Nothing's glowing about this dude. Nothing. He's just a twin. They say he's just a twin. Just a twin. They say he's just a twin. Oh, fool you. Man, come on, man. Nobody knows him outside of that. You know what I'm saying? He's been out the ring. He had a hand injury. And then he had to get the left side of his body reconstructed. Man, they ain't looking for this dude like they looking for Crawford. Crawford has people coming wanting to see him and say, oh, we got to see if he can do it with this person. Now you got people saying, I'm willing to pay to see this dude fight. We want to see how he goes out here and accept the challenge and goes about this challenge with Canelo. And why that's a challenge, once again, he's considered the light guy all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's considered the smaller guy. He's considered to have all these discrepancies that he keep on, pretty much proving people wrong. So they want to see this dude. They want to see him in there with Canelo. I think right now, it's funny if y'all paid close attention, right? When Mel Charlo started this little tour, he was like still trying to talk that same bullshit he was talking with Brian Custard. Come out, you know what? I do this, Mel Charlo. Crawford need to do this. He has unfinished business with my stablemate. He need to take care of that first, blah, blah, blah. Now, it was a point in time where he said that, hey, once again, he got to take care of business with Spence in the rematch. He may not make it out of there. He was still separating himself, ducking the real smoke. And then he'll come out and say, oh, well, Crawford got to fight me next. No, he doesn't. You're not the big ticket item. You lose to Canelo, you're no bigger than you was when you stepped in there. You just another loss on your record, and that's it. That's it, brother. That's just another loss on your record. That's it. I'm serious, man. I mean, like you would hope that Crawford want to fight you after you lose to Canelo. You hope that because you feel that's another way for you to get a paycheck coming off the Canelo loss. Canelo is not going to give you another shot when he beats you. He's going to move on to the next, whoever that is. I don't know who the fuck it is. But what would be his reason for facing you again? You're not going to be the Gennady, the black Gennady Golovkin that he offers 3 fights to. That ain't happening, bro. So Blunt saying Canelo by TKO 7-12 wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah, that TKO is possible. Yes, sir. The refs walks him home. A-holes just don't agree with everyone. No, I don't know. We got a different perception of a a-hole. You know what I'm saying? A-hole to me is a person that acts out, very impulsive. People that they don't know, they give them the same energy towards a person that they actually do know, and calls for action. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they treat them people so aggressively. Then they have a lot of contentiousness towards these people they may know. So they do the same with people they don't know. They treat somebody they do know, you know what I'm saying, that they have a reason to be mad with, and they give that same transfer of energy to somebody they don't know. Just right off the innocence of meeting them for the first time. They're just an asshole, period. That's just their personality. I don't want him to be nobody. I don't want him to be nobody. I'm just telling you what I've seen. I never said what I want a grown man to be. You didn't hear me say I want him to be somebody. I want him to be this person. Dude is an asshole, bro. Period. When he talk about his people, they broke and speak in such an inferior way, portray people as being subordinates, as if he's over us when it comes to status, just because he has a house, a certain type of living affluency that he has and cars. He always talking about people broke and all this other shit and talking down on his consumers. People can't relate to Charlo because at any given moment he's being a fucking asshole, dog. I don't know what the hell you been looking at, Kate, man. Are you Jamel Charlo? Did you hear him tell Jared Hurd that he'd kill him and his girl? I guess that's not asshole qualities, huh? I guess those not asshole qualities, huh? Mark, what's good? Samuel, what's good with it? On deck, salute. Sanchez say Errol wins the rematch and we get the Canelo fight. Crack is a hell of a drug, ain't it? I wish you the best in your recovery, Sanchez. I do. I wish you the best. Shout out to Samar Warren on deck, man. Peace and blessings, beloved. Salute WCS Certified. Stamp the like button and support the grind. No doubt about it, man. You already know. Hopefully everything is going well with your brother. How's Errol won the rematch? You got to understand, man. We have individuals over here that's under the influence. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. We see that all the time. And I'm not here to finger point or place judgment upon them, but I get that sense, man. You see people over here, they're under the influence of something heavy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't go all in on them. You know what I'm saying? I kind of micromanage the situation, not allowed to get out of hand. So if he's in his freaking ayahuasca state, he's floating out there on that high, and he believes that Errol will win the rematch and will fight Canelo. Dreaming, we know he's dreaming. He's dreaming. You're dreaming with your eyes open. You're dreaming. Yes, you are. You're dreaming with your eyes open. Errol will lose again next time. If Crawford chooses to finish him sooner, it will be less than 9 rounds. The message I'm sending the champ. Carry the message I'm sending the champ. Kerry Spence beat him up to 12 rounds. See, one thing about that 4-2. Now we have to understand one thing, 4-2. If you're sending him that message, right? Fighters don't get paid for overtime. That means Crawford will have to carry his luggage longer than he did the first fight. He will have to carry that luggage longer. I don't know if he's willing to do that, because we've seen him carry the luggage to the later rounds because of the packed house up in T-Mobile Arena. So he had to carry that luggage into the 9th round. But if you say you want the punishment to be extended this time, you have to think about this, right? That Errol Spence is a protected fighter right now. They have more fights out there for Errol. So the third man in the ring will absolutely stop this fight the same way they did the first time. Absolutely, brother. They're going to stop this fight the same way they did the first time, brother. That referee going to go in there and give him that hug. You know what I'm saying? That's the hug of termination. Your services tonight are no longer needed. You shall exit through those middle ropes right there and let the doctor check you out. You understand? Nope, your services has been terminated. The fight is over. Nope, it's not up for discussion. Nope, it's not for discussion. Chill. It's not up for discussion. Okay. No, you're not getting anywhere with me. I'm not going to restart the fight. Okay. Better yet, I'm gonna release. Okay. Turn around. The people leaving the arena. Okay, the fight's over, buddy. As long as we got that third man in the ring, Crawford's not going to be able to take this man into the 12th round unless he just really, I'm talking about just carry that backpack. You know what I'm saying? If he choose to backpack this motherfucking fight, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way that Spencer's going to make it into the 12th round, y'all. If Crawford said, you know what, I'm going to put this pack on a little bit. I'm going to put in a little bit more distance than last time, okay? You said it's 12th round? Okay, cool. I mean, that's the only way. That's the only way. He don't get paid for overtime, that fold too. I think this second fight right here, if he goes in there and stop him early, you know, it's not going to be so much a disappointment for the people who came to watch this fight because they already witnessed him stop him in the ninth. So he come in here and stop him in 4 or 5 rounds this time. They're going to say, okay, this is what we expected. All right, cool. Hey, man, y'all made reservations for that restaurant? All right, let's go, man. Let's go. Shoot. It is what it is, bro. It's over for that nigga. It's over. Only one way Errol wins the rematch, by not activating the rematch. I disagree. Because in order for you to win the rematch, it has to extend outside your imagination for what you think the results would be if you actually signed on to take the rematch in reality. And we all know the only way that he can find out is that he sign and enact that rematch clause and he gets in the fight camp, goddammit. Because all that imagination and I'm thinking and pondering and I got my eyes closed, I'm meditating. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. That's not enough, brother. That's not enough. We need action. Nobody can tell what's going on in your head. You up here typing into social media, talking about, man, hey, I beat him. You beat who? Man, I beat him, man. I beat Crawford. Come on, Spence, stop playing, dog. I did, y'all. I'm not talking about physically in the ring. I beat him in my head. They're going to start, laughing hysterically. They're going to say, bro, you really are what they say you are. You just a little bit punchy, punch. You better stop it right now. Stop it. They're not going to let you fight again. Stop with that nonsense. I did. I beat him. I did. It's going to take more than that imagination, bro. You're going to have to carry that out inside them 4 corners. If it comes, take it. I got you. Hey, man, he don't get paid for overtime. Plus, the less, that only builds up, the shock and awe value that people look at him as having right now. You know what I'm saying? They got him on that shock and awe meter. You know what I'm saying? What he did to Spence. Let's see Diddy James come up with a plan, bro. Him and Guzman. Let's see if they're able to come up with a plan, brother. Honestly, want the champ to punish Spence and let these aerosexuals realize there are levels in this boxing game. I agree with that. Hey, 4-2, you think they don't understand that the beating that played out in front of us, you don't think they found out that Terrence Crawford is much higher levels, much more educated levels than Spence? They have to. They have to know that shit now, bro. You know what I'm saying? They have to know that Crawford is levels above Spence right now. They can say Spence was dehydrated, right? They can say residual neurological damage, right? Okay. They can say stayed in the freaking division too long at 147 and all this other shit. Even though this next fight gonna be at 154, kudos, right? They can put all that. You know what I'm saying? They can mush that shit up together and mesh it all together like clay, like Play-Doh. It still doesn't negate the fact of what we seen play out inside that ring and what he wasn't able to do. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't able to do anything with Crawford. He wasn't able to do anything. It became to a point where people started to feel sorry and they wanted to start a GoFundMe before the fight was even over. You know what I'm saying? In the 6th round, you have people up there trying to say, hey, man, let's start an Errol Spence GoFundMe, dog, for his medical bills. And then in the 7th round, they was like, oh, shit, man, how much we got How much we got? Well, they only donated $2. Oh my God. Oh my God, what are we doing? The beating. Do they see the beating that he's taking? $2 isn't enough. Charlie, get on this right now, Charlie. Else you're fired. I miss Diddy James going to start what? Miss Derrick James going to start watching film. I mean, look, Derrick James to me, he watches film for the rematches. He does. He watches film for the rematches. You know, but then we have to look at it like this too. For those of you in the chat, and man, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. You have to look at it like this with Diddy James. With him even watching film, is he open-minded enough? You know what I'm saying? Is he willing to accept others' advice, or everything has to be what he believes, his structure, his standard? Is that all it is? I mean, is he willing to accept some advice from Guzman? Is he willing to listen to Guzman? Because Guzman has a better professional record than Diddy James when he fought. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there now. My thoughts the other day can hold up. Bud can fight Zoo for the WBO 154, Triple G at 160, and then Canelo for undisputed 168. So I have to say this, Samad. Triple G does not have any belts at 160, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you knew that, but Triple G don't have any belts at 160, man. So what benefit it is for Crawford to face Triple G at 160? He don't have any belts. If you look up there right now, man, they have some champions up there that you don't even know. Okay, we got Charlo, who's considered the caveman champion right now. All right. And we got Erislandy Laura. But all them other guys, Triple G is not even ranked at middleweight no more, man. You feel me? So it'll do no difference. Like if Crawford was to go up there and fight at 160, Erislandy Laura, you know what I'm saying? One of those other two fighters that's in the IBF for the WBO. You know what I'm saying? Look, the middleweight is so fucked up. In the IBF rankings, number 1 and number 2 is not even rated. I take that back. I forgot. It just dawned on me that Gennady Golovkin, they switched him over like they did Sergey Deryanchenko. Absolutely. They moved him over to the WBC. That's what they did. They moved him over to the WBC. They did the Sergey Deryanchenko deal. He lost 2 mandatory IBF shots, and then they moved him over there to the WBC. You know what I'm saying? He lost against Charlo. Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry for the typo. I meant Derrick James going to start watching film. Yeah, for sure. But they honestly feel that win was a fluke. I want to knock out for real, though. He says, what? No, ass whooping like that. Okay. I see where you at with it. They consider it to be a fluke because they want to fluff all those excuses into the equation, right? Of him being weight drained and Crawford being this, that, and the other with gloves and all that. Yeah. They can say what they want, but dude got beat up. He got beat up, man. You know what I'm saying? He was beat up. How do you get knocked down in the second round off a jab? How? Huh? How, bro? Somebody tell me that. How is that considered flukish? You know what I'm saying? That's not even the word. How is that considered flukish? We're talking about flukish type scenarios now. It was flukish. So you want me to convey that to my audience, that first fight was flukish. I got it. 3 knockdowns with a TKO stoppage can't be a fluke. You know what I'm saying? Feel me on that, bro. God damn. They are still stuck in that fog, man. That fog is bad. It's thick too. Man, they can't breathe in that motherfucker, man. For real, they can't breathe in that fog, especially the ones who actually witness play out in person. They can't breathe. Real talk. They can't breathe. But at the end of the day, let's see how it plays out September 30th. Let's see how it plays out. And then, once Canelo go in there and disperse of Mel Charlo, I just can't wait to see the look on his face when he think coming off a loss to Canelo, he's gonna automatically now be anxious to call out Crawford. No, Crawford should be extremely invested. It's saying, nope, I want strictly Canelo Alvarez, nigga. You done. If you here when I become super middleweight world champion, undisputed, 3-time undisputed, and you still here in this super welterweight division with the belts, okay. And you went over there and fought Tim Tszyu, I come back down to 154 and fight you. You know what I'm saying? So I can go for 4 division. And that's the only way he gonna make some money. And that Crawford would be interested, in my opinion. But the big money fight, of course, is Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez, not Mel Charlo coming off a loss. People are not going to give him any credit. Really. They're going to say, okay, yeah, but like Bud has already put out there, are you going to pick up that title over there from Tim Tszyu? If you're not going to pick up that title from Tim Tszyu, I don't have anything to say to you, brother. I'm not going over there doing the same thing I already did from 40 to 47. I'm not waiting on you to pick and choose if you want to fight me or not because I went over there and pick up the WBO. We're not doing this for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? We're not fighting in 2026. Whenever you get around to this, we're not doing that shit. Content Entertainment, salute to your brother. Salute WCS. Salute everyone in the chat. No doubt about it, man. What's good with you, brother? They still smoking on Bud. Yeah, man. They are the ones who came up with that smoking on Bud pack. Knowing damn well a fish does not have a good track record being out of water and smoking. It's not good. They will suffocate themselves. I mean, you don't have to be a National Geographic enthusiast to understand this shit. That's simple. That's simple. You know, a lot of people have fish tanks inside their home and stuff like that. I mean, take that fish out, man. Just put it in an empty jar and just let it sit. You'll find out what it is. You know what I'm saying? Fire up something and blow that smoke and then put the lid on it. You'll see how that fish survive. You'll see. Shout out to the Athletic Mind is on deck, man. What's good with it, brother? Hopefully everything is going well your way, man. Definitely check out this brother, man. Youngin' in the game doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Very talented. Win, lose, or draw, Canelo fan base continues to grow. Hey, you ain't lying, right? You ain't lying. You are not lying, brother. You are not lying. And y'all definitely go check out those freaking vids, man. Those reaction vids that Athletic Mind has on the post Spence. And, you know, like he's made clear, you know, he's not leaning heavy on one side of this, that, and the other. You know, he just made the videos. The videos are pretty much on point, though, with the reflection part as far as what was being said prior to the fight and how they switched up after the fight. It makes sense now. They're classics. I ain't gonna lie. They're classics. So go check them out, bro. Okay, for sure. For sure. I no doubt about that. Definitely would check it out. You know what I'm saying? He's going live on this new channel. You didn't put your channel name up there, though. You said your new channel. Put your channel name up there. You know what I'm saying? The new channel. It's called Boxaholic. Cobain on deck. What's good? Omaha tapped in. Salute. Shout out to Omaha in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? The city that's been, you know, lit as of recent. You know, once again, it's not like that was their first time having a send-off and having a freaking post-fight parade. They've been there before. This was even bigger than Julius and Dongo. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, because this was the guy that was supposed to get it done. This is supposed to be the nemesis, the equalizer, bro. And it didn't work out that way. It wasn't even close, y'all. I just thought y'all should know that. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I told you that the intersections was going to be a bit more different once this fight was over with. You know what I'm saying? You had people walking out into traffic with green lights. Man, I tried to stop them. I say, no, heterosexual, no. Heterosexual, stop it. They were just walking out there in traffic. Then goddamn intersection was green lights, dog. Getting ran the fuck over. I was like, oh my God, man. One man can have this effect on an entire society? An aerosexual society? God damn. Shit don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? But the rematch is going to be a bit more, I believe, somewhat like the pandemic. I don't believe that these people have recovered, you know what I'm saying, the waves. So just like the whole 2020, we went through that, and it took 2022, still to 23, people to fully recover from that. This is definitely a shorter version of the shock and awe effect, man, that Crawford put them in from the T-Mobile massacre. It's people still crushed. I'm not talking about crushed with a C. I'm talking about crushed with a K. You know what I'm saying? Crushed. They're crushed, y'all. They have not yet been able to lift that cloud. And they're hoping, right? They even took out a flashlight and shined that flashlight up into the cloud to pretend like it was sunlight, y'all. I can't make this shit up. They are not going to be content until they show up for the rematch, because they believe that he has a chance for this to happen. I get it. Y'all make sure y'all pay attention, man. This is definitely going down. You feel me? This is definitely going down. You know what I'm saying? Saturday, September 30th, live on pay-per-view. It's going down, man. Canelo Alvarez, Jamel Charlo. You know, PBC, it's going down. That's all I can say. It is going down, bro. Home of two-time undisputed champ and Malcolm X. We've had that dog in us. Yes, sir, man. It's good y'all was able to experience this moment. You know, legendary. You know what I'm saying? Legendary. I still don't know why it took for him to become undisputed 2 times for the city to give him a piece of land for $1. I don't know if his whole intent has been to help out kids and have them in the gym and pretty much, you know, just get them into that environment to be taught and keep them off the street. Then that itself was a good deed. Not sure why it took so long for the city to come up there. I'm not trying to instigate some shit, but I'm like, come on now. Come on, man. Who else is doing it over there in Omaha like this? Come on, stop playing. Stop playing, dog. Who else is doing that? I got to go up here and beat a person on the pound for pound list to get a piece of property. And I've already been at this. I already been helping the kids out. Somebody wasn't paying attention to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Somebody wasn't paying attention over there. For real. But man, y'all hold it down. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. A-side official. You already know. Hit the like button on your way out, man. We should do it again. In the meanwhile, y'all hit the like button, like, share, and sub if you haven't already did so. Peace. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports. subscribe.
Somebody have a video of the woman, she like got our energy. He tried to keep up with her.